Um, Hi. Good to see all of you again. Welcome, welcome. Well, asteroids, if you're all here, then you know what time it is. It is time for our monthly bedtime stories. This one's gonna be a bit interesting. In honor of the spooky season, I thought I would treat all of you to what is widely considered one of the most interesting, more poorly written fanfictions. Scary by far, but not in the way you'd expect. um, for those of you who don't know, My Immortal is written by Tara Gilsby, I believe. Back in their youth. It's a very poorly written Harry Potter fanfiction with Mary Sue's very dated humor, words, and a self-insert, I believe. But as always, we'll go ahead and start things off with just, a couple short stories before we get into the main event now, shall we? Since this is going to be our Halloween-themed bedtime stories, I figured I'd read a couple ones. And remember, as always, before we get on to the main event, if you have a certain story you'd like me to read, please link it in the chat and I'll go give it a look. Alright, first thing we're going to be reading is This New Old House by Bat Out of Hell 821. We bought an old house, my boyfriend and I. He's in charge of the new construction, converting the kitchen into the master bedroom, for instance, while I'm on wallpaper removal duty. The previous owner papered every wall and ceiling. Removing it is brutal, but oddly satisfying. The best feeling is getting a long peel similar to your skin when you're peeling from a sunburn. I don't know about you, but I kinda make a game of peeling on the hunt for the longest piece before it rips. Under a corner section of paper in every room is a person's name and a date. Curiosity got the best of me one night when I googled one of the names and discovered the person was actually missing. The missing date matching the date under the wallpaper. The next day I made a list of all the names and dates. Sure enough, each name was for a missing person with dates to match. We notified the police, who naturally sent out the crime scene team. I overheard one tech say, "Yep, it's human." Human? What's human? Ma'am, where's the material you removed from the walls? This isn't wallpaper you're removing. And that was This New Old House. The next one we're going to be reading is Seeing Red, The First Day of School by Zenri Hao. Everyone loves the first day of school, right? New year, new classes, new friends. It's a day full of potential and hope, before all the dreary depressions of reality show up to ruin all the fun. I like the first day of school for a different reason, you see. I have a sort of power. When I look at people, I can sense a sort of aura around them. A colored outline, based on how long that person has to live. Most everyone I meet around my age is surrounded by a solid green hue, which means they have plenty of time left. A fair amount of them have yellow-orange to their auras, which tends to mean a car crash or some other tragedy. Anything that takes people before their time, as to say. The real fun is when the auras venture into the red end of the spectrum. Every now and then, I'll see someone who's practically a walking stoplight. Those are the ones who get murdered or kill themselves. Such a rush to see them and know their time is numbered. With that in mind, I always get to class very early so I can scout out my classmates' fate. The first kid who walked in was basically radiating red. Chuckled to myself. Too damn bad, bro. But as people kept walking in, they all had the same intense glow. I finally caught a glimpse of my rose-tinted reflection in the window, but I was too stunned to move. Our professor stepped in and locked the door. his aura a sickening shade of green. And that was seeing red, the first day of school. How are you all doing today? Are you enjoying the stories, these short ones so far? Speaking of, how are your days? Does anyone have their costumes ready? Halloween's just gonna be right around the corner. Hi Yumi, how are you? It's been quite some time, thank you for stopping by. How have you been? What's been new in your life? It has been quite some time. Truly, I hope you've been taking care. The next short story we'll be reading will be Timekeeper by Gridster 2. He had been given the watch on his 10th birthday. It was an ordinary gray, classic rich watch in every respect, except for the fact that it was counting down. That is all the time he had left on this world, son. Use it wisely. And indeed he did. As the watch ticked away, the boy, now a man, lived life to the fullest. He climbed mountains and saw oceans. He talked and laughed and lived and loved. The man was never afraid, for he knew exactly how much time he had left. Eventually, the watch began its final countdown. The old man stood looking over everything he had done, everything he had built. He shook hands with his old business partner, the man who had long been his friend and confidant. His dog came and licked his hand, earning a pat on the head for his companionship. He hugged his son, knowing that he had been a good father, too. He kissed his wife on the forehead one last time. What? The old man smiled and closed his eyes. Then nothing happened. The watch beeped once and turned off. The man stood there, standing, very much alive. You would think that in that moment he would have been overjoyed. Instead, for the first time in his life, the man was scared. I think we'll go ahead and just read one more short story before we go ahead and move on to the main event, as it were. Hi Fims, welcome. I'm glad you could be here. We're gonna be doing one more short story before we read the infamous My Immortal. The offer is still up if you'd like to join me for this and call. The last story we'll be reading will be "He Stood Against My Window" by Sabbath Hook. I couldn't take it seriously, I know. I know. But it'd be fun. I'll laugh the whole time, that's what I want you to do. I don't know why I looked up, but when I did, I saw him there. He stood against my window. His forehead rested against the glass, and his eyes were still and light. And he smiled a lipstick red, cartoonish grin. And he just stood there in the window. My wife was upstairs sleeping, my son in his crib. And I couldn't move, I froze, and watched him look past me through the window. His smile never moved, but he put a hand up and slid it down the glass, watching me. With matted hair and yellow skin, and face through the window. I couldn't do anything. I just stayed there frozen, feet still in the bushes I was pruning, looking to my home. He stood against my window. do 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 do. And how have you been, Pimshi? How's work? I'm really happy you could be here. It was busy today, you say? Well, at least, productive, right? Busy means it goes by fast. I'm guessing all those nurses and doctors really needed their fix today, huh? I'm doing good. It was my day off today. I did some dance practice, and now here we are. So, productive, to say the least, at least. For this evening, during the day I didn't really do much. I just played a few games. I took a nap. I finally ate at this one chicken place that's by my bank that I go to. It was okay. I mean, it's chicken, so. Korean chicken, I should say, actually, to specify. I know, let's go. But I kind of miss the old chicken place that they used to be, because they had these really nice buffalo chicken fries. But this one, they don't have that option. It's just all Korean chicken, different glazes, all that. They're slacking, I know. SMH. They're losing out on a whole field, a whole market. All right. Are you guys ready for all the money they could be making? Honestly, they're missing out on so much. SMH, bad business prospects. They have some really good like radish though. I think I'm fine with that. So, the thing about my Immortal is that it was written many years ago. It technically has 44 chapters, however, they're all really short, and the person who re-uploaded this fanfiction, because it's deleted, narrowed it down into 13. No, 12. So, We could finish all of this in one sitting. Which I think is going to be very fun, very exciting. Alright. And with that, let's begin. Chapter 1. Hi, my name is Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway, and I have long ebony black hair. That's how I got my name. With purple streaks and red tips that reaches my mid-back, and icy blue eyes like limpid tears, and a lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee. I'm not related to Gerard Way, but I wish I was, because he's a major fucking hottie. I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white. I have pale white skin. I'm also a witch, and I go to a school called Hogwarts, in England, where I'm in my 7th year. I'm 17. I'm a goth, in case you couldn't tell, and I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic, and I buy all my clothes from there. For example, today I was wearing a black corset, with matching lace around it, and a black leather miniskirt, pink fishnets, and black combat boots. I was wearing black lipstick, white foundation, black eyeliner, and red eyeshadow. I was walking outside Hogwarts. It was snowing and raining, so there was no sun, which I was very happy about. A lot of preps stared at me. I put my middle finger at them. Hey, Ebony, shouted a voice. I looked up. It was Draco Malfoy. What's up, Draco? I asked. Nothing, he said shyly. But then I heard my friends call me and I had to go away. Chapter 2. The next day I woke up in my bedroom. It was snowing and raining again. I opened the door of my coffin and drank some blood from a bottle I had. My coffin was black ebony, and inside it was a hot pink velvet with black lace on the ends. I got out of my coffin and took off my giant MCR t-shirt, which I used for pajamas. Instead, I put on a black leather dress, a pentagram necklace, combat boots, and black fishnets on. I put on 4 pairs of earrings in my pierced ears and put my hair in a kind of messy bun. My friend Willow woke up then and grinned at me. She flipped her long waist-length raven black hair with pink streaks and opened her 4 green eyes. She put on her Marilyn Manson t-shirt with a black mini, fishnets, and pointy high-heeled boots. We put on our makeup, black lipstick, white foundation, black eyeliner. OMFG, I saw you talking to Draco Malfoy yesterday, she said excitedly. Yeah, so? I said, blushing. Do you like Draco? She asked as we went out of the Slytherin common room and into the Great Hall. No, I so fucking don't, I shouted. Yeah, right, she exclaimed. Just then, Draco walked up to me. Hi, he said. Hi, I replied furtively. Guess what? He said. What? I asked. Well, Good Charlotte are having a concert in Hogsmeade, he told me. Oh my fucking god, I screamed. I love GC. They are my favorite band besides MCR. Well, do you want to go with me? He asked. I gasped. And that was the first 2 chapters of my Immortal. As you can see, the writing is very intriguing. It's very 2000s. Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway is the main character of this story, as you could figure. She is considered a self-insert, as well as a Mary Sue in this story. He has all the powers, all the relationships. So we're gonna have fun time with this one. Chapter 3. On the night of the concert, I put on my black lace-up boots with high heels. Underneath them were ripped red fishnets. Then I put on a black leather mini dress with all this corset stuff on the back and front. I put on matching fishnets on my arms. I straightened my hair and made it look spiky. Getting nice and comfy before bed with Orion? Hi Latte, thank you for being here. I love that you're here, first of all. Thank you, thank you. You're a very sweet cat. You're very sweet, very lovely. It's just very unfortunate that this is the one bedtime story you decided to sit in with. Hi. Hi Darian, welcome. Yeah, the mini hat is back. What's the bedtime story? Is it okay to ask? Of course it's okay to ask. Well, I do bedtime stories every month. For this month, because it's Halloween, I decided to read one of the most infamous fanfictions ever written. It is called My Immortal, and it's a Harry Potter fanfiction. I decided to read this for Halloween just by pure horror in how it massacres the English language and its intense cringe factor. I don't know Harry Potter, but this would be fun. Oh, well. Honestly, you don't really need context for Harry Potter. It doesn't... I don't feel like there's anything Harry Potter related with the story other than just sharing locations and names. So you can honestly treat it as its own separate story. How are you though, Latte? How are you doing? Darian, how are you as well? Doing good, I'm glad to hear. I was scared when you said fanfiction. Yeah, I mean, that's why. It's Halloween, right? Gotta pull out the scary ones. How are your midterms going? Or are you still having them? I'm doing good, just chilling, came by to see what's up. Yeah, well, we're gonna be doing some fanfiction reading today. Thank you for stopping by, thank you for chilling. I passed it, super good. I'm so proud of you, I knew you would. You're very, very smart. Good job, good job. Oh hell yeah, your voice is so soothing, thank you. I hope after this I can get a good dream about Harry. After this story, I don't know if you're gonna get that, but I'll try my best. Alright. I went outside. Draco was waiting there in front of his flying car. He was wearing a Simple Plan t-shirt. They would play at the show too. Baggy black skater pants, black nail polish, and a little eyeliner. Hi Draco, I said in a depressed voice. Hi Ebony, he said back. We walked into his flying black Mercedes-Benz. The license plate said 666, and flew to the place with the concert. On the way, we listened excitedly to Good Charlotte and Marilyn Manson. We both smoked cigarettes and drugs. When we got there, we both hopped out of the car. We went to the mosh pit in front of the stage and jumped up and down as we listened to Good Charlotte. You come in cold, you're covered in blood. They're all so happy, I don't know Good Charlotte songs. The doctor cuts your cord, hands you to your mom. She sets you free into this life. I don't know which song this is. Singing Orion? I mean, this story isn't too incredibly long. I might do just a little karaoke afterwards, if time provided. Joel is so fucking hot, I said to Draco, pointing to him as he sung. filling the club with his amazing voice. Suddenly, Draco looked sad. "What's wrong?" I asked as we moshed to the music. Then I caught on. "Hey, it's okay. I don't like him better than you," I said. "Really?" asked Draco sensitively, and he put his arm around me all protective. "Really," I said. "Besides, I don't even know Joel, and he's going out with Hillary fucking Duff. I fucking hate that little bitch," I said disgustedly, thinking of her ugly blonde face. The night went on really well, and I had a great time. So did Draco. After the concert, we drank some beer and asked Benji and Joel for their autographs and photos with them. We got GC concert tees. Draco and I crawled back into the Mercedes Benz, but Draco didn't go back to Hogwarts. Instead, he drove the car into the Forbidden Forest. Chapter 4. "Draco!" I shouted. "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" Draco didn't answer, but he stopped the flying car and he walked out of it. I walked out of it too, curiously. "What the fucking hell?" I asked angrily. "Ebony," he asked. "What?" I snapped. Draco leaned in extra close, and I looked into his gothic red eyes. He was wearing color contacts, which revealed so much depressing sorrow and evilness, and then suddenly I didn't feel mad anymore. And then suddenly, just as Draco kissed me passionately, Draco climbed on top of me and we started to make out keenly against a tree. He took off my top and I took off his clothes. I even took off my bra. Then he put his thingy into my you-know-what, and we did it for the first time. Things are getting very spicy, latte. Oh, I screamed. I was beginning to get an orgasm. He started to kiss everywhere, and my pale body became all warm, and then... "What the hell are you doing, you motherfuckers?" It was Dumbledore. Chapter 5. Dumbledore made, and Draco and I follow him. He kept shouting at us angrily. "You ludicrous fools!" he shouted. I started to cry tears of blood from my pallid face. Draco comforted me. When we back to the castle, Dumbledore took us to Professor Snape and Professor McGonagall, who were both looking very angry. "They were having sexual intercourse in the Forbidden Forest," he yelled in a furious voice. "Why did you do such a thing, you mediocre dunces?" asked Professor McGonagall. "How dare you?" demanded Professor Snape. And then Draco shrieked, "Because I love her!" Everyone was quiet. Dumbledore and Professor McGonagall still looked mad, but Professor Snape said, "Fine. Very well. You may go up to your rooms." Draco and I went upstairs while the teachers glared at us. "Are you okay, Ebony?" Draco asked me gently. "Yeah, I guess." I lied. I went to the girls' dorms, brushed my teeth, my hair, and changed into a low-cut black 4-length dress with red lace all around it and black heels. When I came out, Draco was standing in front of the bathroom, and he started to sing "I Just Want to Live" by Good Charlotte, even though he wasn't supposed to be there. We hugged and kissed. After that, we said goodnight, and he reluctantly went back into his room. Chapter 6. The next day, I woke up in my coffin. I put on a black miniskirt that was ripped all around the end and a matching top with red skulls all over it. High-heeled boots, and they were black. I put on 2 pairs of skull earrings and 2 crosses in my ear. I spray painted my hair purple. In the Great Hall, I ate some Count Chocolate cereal with blood instead of milk and a glass of red blood. Suddenly, someone bumped into me. All the blood spilled all over my top. Bastard! I shouted angrily. I regretted saying it when I looked up, because I was looking into the pale white face of a gothic boy with spiky black hair with red streaks in it. He was wearing so much eyeliner that I was going down his face, and he was wearing black lipstick. He didn't have glasses anymore, and now he was wearing red eye contact lenses, like Draco's, and there was no scar on his forehead. He had a manly stubble on his chin. He had a sexy English accent. He looked exactly like Joel Madden. He was so sexy that my body went all hot when I saw him. Kind of like an erection. Only I'm a girl, so I didn't get one, you sicko. I'm so sorry, he said in a shy voice. That's alright. What's your name? I questioned. My name's Harry Potter. Although most people call me Vampire these days, he grumbled. Why? Girl bone, girl and latte. A girl. Because I love the taste of human blood, he giggled. Well, I am a vampire, I confessed. Really? He whimpered. Yeah, I roared. We sat down to talk for a while. Then Draco came up behind me and told me he had a surprise for me, so I went away with him. Girls can't get an erection? Not with that attitude. They can get whatever they want if they put their mind to it. Chapter 7. Bring Me to Life. Draco and I held our pale white hands with black nail polish as we went upstairs. I was wearing red Satanist rings on my nails and red nail polish. Oh, red Satanist signs, I'm sorry, on my nails and red nail polish. I waved to Vampire. Dark misery was in his depressed eyes. I guess he was jealous of me that I was going out with Draco. Anyway, I went upstairs excitedly with Draco. We went into the room and locked the door. Then, we started Frenching passionately, and we took off each other's clothes enthusiastically. He felt me up before I took off my top. Then I took off my black leather bra and he took off his pants. We went on the bed and started making out naked. And then he put his boy's thingy in mine, and we had sex. Oh, Draco, I screamed, while getting an orgasm. And all of a sudden I saw a tattoo I had never seen before on Draco's arm. It was a black heart with an arrow through it. Do I shy or low-key cry from this? Both. Why not both? ¿Por qué los dos? On it in bloody gothic writing were the words, Vampire. I was so angry. You bastard! I shouted angrily, jumping out of the bed. No, but you don't understand, Draco pleaded, but I knew too much. No, you fucking idiot, I shouted. You probably have AIDS anyway. I put on my clothes all huffy, and then stomped out. Draco ran out even though he was naked. He had a really big you-know-what, but I was too mad to care. I stomped out and did so until I was in Vampire's classroom, where he was having a lesson with Professor Snape and some other people. Vampire Potter, you motherfucker! I yelled. Chapter 8. Everyone in the class stared at me, and then Draco came into the room, even though he was naked, and started begging me to take him back. Ebony, it's not what you think. Draco screamed sadly. My friend Bloody Mary Smith smiled at me understandingly. She flipped her long waist-length gothic black hair and opened her crimson eyes like blood that she was wearing contact lenses on. SMH man should put on clothes first before begging. I don't know. Damn, they putting up a whole show for the class, that's what I'm saying. But like, I feel like that's the ultimate level of pittiness. You're just begging on your knees naked? She had pale white skin that she was wearing white makeup on. Hermione was kidnapped when she was born. Her real parents were vampires, and one of them is a witch. But Voldemort killed her mother, and her father committed suicide because he was depressed about it. She still has nightmares about it, and she's very haunted and depressed. It also turns out her real last name is Smith and not Granger. Since she converted to Satanism, she's in Slytherin now, not Gryffindor. Taking notes. Okay, next time people apologize, they better be naked. Yeah. That's how they truly show that they're sorry. If they can put their own embarrassment past your apology, then they're a real one. What is it that you desire, you ridiculous dimwit? Snape demeaned angrily in his cold voice, but I ignored him. Vampire, I can't believe you cheated on me with Draco, I shouted at him. Everyone gasped. I don't know why Ebony was so mad at me. I had went out with Vampire. I'm bi, and so is Ebony, for a while. But then he broke my heart. He dumped me because he liked Brittany. A stupid preppy fucker. We were just good friends now. He had gone through horrible problems, and now he was gothic. Like I would hang out with a prep. But I'm not going out with Draco anymore, said Vampire. Yeah, fucking right. Fuck off, you bastard, I screamed. I ran out of the room and into the Forbidden Forest, where I had lost my virginity to Draco, and then I started to burst into tears. Chapter 9. I was so mad and sad. I couldn't believe Draco for cheating on me. Redeem Hydrate? Thank you for the redeem. Oh yeah. Stretch too? Oh god, okay. Love you, latte. Then all of a sudden, a horrible man with red eyes and no nose, and everything started flying towards me on a broomstick. He didn't have a nose, basically like Voldemort in the movie. And he was wearing all black, but it was obvious he wasn't gothic. It was Voldemort. No! I shouted in a scared voice. But then Voldemort shouted, Imperious! And I couldn't run away. Crookshanks! I shouted at him. Voldemort fell off his broom and started to scream. I felt bad for him even though I'm a sadist, so I stopped. Ebony, he yelled. Thou must kill Vampire Potter. I thought about Vampire and his sexy eyes and his gothic black hair and how his face looks just like Joel Madden. I remembered that Draco had said I didn't understand, so I thought, what if Draco went out with Vampire before I went out with him and they broke up? No, Voldemort, I shouted back. Voldemort gave me a gun. No, please, I begged. Thou must, he yelled. If thou does not, then I shall kill thy beloved Draco. How did you know? I asked in a surprised way. Voldemort got a dude, you're so retarded look on his face. I have telekinesis, he answered cruelly. And if you doth not kill vampire, then thou know what will happen to Draco. He shouted, and then he flew away angrily on his broomstick. I was so scared and mad I didn't know what to do. Suddenly, Draco came into the woods. Draco, I said. Hi. Hi, he said back, but his face was all sad. He was wearing white foundation and messy eyeliner, kind of like a pentagram, between Joel Madden and Gerard Way. Yes, Voldemort really did just pull a gun out of his pocket and gave it to, yeah, Ebony and Darkness, Dementia Ravenway. I'm sorry I got all mad at you, but I thought you cheated. That's okay, he said all depressed, and we went back into Hogwarts together, making out. Modern day Harry Potter, let's go. That's what I'm saying. I wonder what kind of gun it was. Chapter 10. I was really scared about Voldemort all day. I was even upset. Went to rehearsals with my gothic metal band, Bloody Gothic Road 666. I'm the lead singer, and I play guitar. The amount of thirsty and honky energy I get from them. It's true. It's written very horny. People say that we sound like a cross between GC, Slipknot, and MCR. The other people in the band are Bloody Mary, Vampire, Draco, Ron, even though we call him Diabolo now. He has black hair now with red streaks, or blue streaks in it, and Hagrid. Only today Draco and Vampire were depressed, so they weren't coming, and we wrote songs instead. I knew Draco was probably slitting his wrist. He wouldn't die because he was a vampire too. And the only way you can kill a vampire is with a CROSS. There's no way I'm writing that. Or a steak. And Vampire was probably watching a depressing movie like The Corpse Bride. I put on a black leather shirt that showed off my boobs, and tiny matching miniskirt that said Simple Plan on the butt. You might think I'm a slut, but I'm really not. We were singing a cover of Helena, and at the end of the song, I suddenly burst into tears. Ebony, are you okay? Bloody Mary asked in a concerted voice. What the fuck do you think? I asked angrily. And then I said, well, Voldemort came, and the fucking bastard told me to fucking kill Harry, but I don't want to kill him because he's really nice. And even if he did go out of Draco, but if I don't kill Harry, then Voldemort will fucking kill Draco. I burst into tears. Suddenly, Draco jumped out from behind a wall. Why didn't you fucking tell me? He shouted. How could you? You fucking poser muggle bitch. I started to cry and cry. Draco started to cry too, all sensitive. Then he ran out crying. We practiced for 1 more hour. Oh, burn. Latte for your reference. Muggles are what people are called as non-magic users. So if they weren't born with the ability to use magic, they're called muggles. She got his ass for a hit deal. For real. Oh. Then suddenly Dumbledore walked in angrily. His eyes were all fiery, and I knew this time it wasn't because he had a headache. What have you done? He started to cry wisely. Ebony Draco. Ebony. Draco has been found in his room. He committed suicide by slitting his wrist. Chapter 11. No! I screamed. I was horrified. Bloody Mary tried to comfort me. This got dark real fast. But remember, I thought it was a vampire. Bloody Mary tried to comfort me, but I told her to fuck off, and I ran to my room crying myself. Dumbledore chased after me shouting, but he had to stop when I went into my room, because he would look like a perv that way. Anyways, I started crying tears of blood, and then I slit both of my wrists. They got all over my clothes, so I took them off, and jumped into the bath angrily, while I put on a Linkin Park song at full volume. I grabbed a stake and almost struck it into my heart to commit suicide. I was so fucking depressed. I got out of the bathtub and put on a black, low-cut dress with lace all over it sadly. I put on black high heels with pink metal stuff on the ends. And 6 pairs of skull earrings. I couldn't fucking believe it. Then I looked out the window and screamed. Oh my god, hi show, thank you for the follow. An asshole. No, don't, you're not an asshole. I love you, you're fine, don't worry. I love how dark it is, and then you get a fashion makeover in the dude, that's why this fanfiction is just written all over the place. I don't understand. But that's why it's so funny to read. Anyway, show, how are you? How are you doing? How's work? I hope you're taking care. I hope you're having fine. Welcome to my stream. We're reading My Immortal, the Harry Potter fanfiction. They were just banging. Oh, thank you for the bits. You didn't have to. I love you too. It's my apology. No, you never need to apologize. They were banging a few minutes ago. That's true. Where was I? Oh, then I looked out the window and screamed. You're excited for story time? I wish it was for any other story but this one, but welcome, please. Pull a chair, get comfy, and we'll get through this with as much cringe and as much ugh, as we can. Oh, Latte, trust me, I think there's more honky sections if I remember this story right. Snape was spying on me, and he was taking a videotape of me. And Lupin was masticating to it. They were sitting on their broomsticks. Ew, you fucking pervs! Stop looking at me naked! Are you pedos or what? I screamed, putting on a black towel with a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. Suddenly, they were wanking on the broom. Suddenly, Vampire ran in. Abracadabra! He yelled at Snape and Lupin, pointing at his womb. I took my gun and shot Snape and Lupin a gazillion times, and they both started screaming. Doku, no! Thank you for the... Hello, Raiders! Hello! Right in the middle of the gun. Yo, Raid. Hi, Doku. Thank you for raiding. What's up? How are you doing? How's your stream? What'd you guys do? Was Gucci? Glad to hear. Nice. Last possibility. Hey, let's go. You're cracked at Elden Ring. Anyways, hello Raiders. Hello everyone. Doku, thank you for joining. We are reading the infamous Harry Potter fanfiction, My Immortal. We're currently on chapter 11. So, yeah, if you read it before, you already know how it goes. If you haven't, this fanfiction low-key inspired a younger me to smut, right? There we go. You know what? Based. This is why Doku, y'all should follow Doku. He's an amazing person. Is this fanfiction that infamous? This fanfiction is very infamous. It's regarded as one of the worst fanfictions written, if I remember right. At least in terms of the Harry Potter fandom. and it got deleted at some point, but many people have re-uploaded it, so here we are. Where are we? Oh. I took my gun and shot Snape and Lupin a gazillion times, and they both started screaming and the camera broke. You're welcome, Latte. Anything for you. Suddenly, Dumbledore ran in. Ebony, it has been revealed that someone has... No! He shouted, looking at Snape and Lupin, and then he waved his wand and suddenly... Hagrid ran outside on his broom and said, "Everyone, we need to talk." What do you know, Hagrid? You're just a little Hogwarts student. I may be a Hogwarts student. Hagrid paused angrily. But I'm also a Satanist. This cannot be. Snape said in a crisp voice, as blood dripped from his hand where Dumbledore's wand had shot him. There must be other factors. You don't have any, I yelled in madly. Lupin held up the camera triumphantly. The lens may be ruined, but the tape is still there. I felt faint. More than I normally do, like how it feels when you do not drink enough blood. Why are you doing this? Lupin said angrily, while he rubbed his dirty hands on his cloak. And then I heard the words that I had heard before, but not from him. I did not know whether to feel shocked or happy, or to bite him and drink his blood, because I felt faint. Because Hagrid said, and he paused in the air dramatically, waving his wand in the air, then swooped in, singing to the tune of a gothic version of a song by 50 Cent. Because you're gothic? Snape asked in a little afraid voice, because he was afraid. It meant he was connected with Satan. Because I love her. Chapter 12. I was about to slit my wrist again with the silver knife. I have a fun Satan story for when you're done streaming. I would love to hear that, honestly. I was about to slit my wrist again with a silver knife that Draco had given me in case anything happened to him. He had told me to use it valiantly against an enemy, but I knew that we both must go together. No! Thought it was Hagrid, but it was Vampire. He started to scream. MFG! No! My scar hurts! And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. I stopped. How did you know? I saw it! My scar turned back into the lightning bolt! No! I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted. I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurts, and it turned back into the lightning bolt. Save me. Then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him in bondage. Anyway, I was in the school nurse's office now recovering from my slit wrist. Snape and Lupin and Hagrid were there too. They were going to St. Mungo's after they recovered, because they were pedophiles. And you can't have those fucking pervs teaching in a school with lots of hot girls. Dumbledore had constipated the video camera they took of me naked. I put up my middle finger at them. Anyway, Hagrid came into my hospital bed holding a bouquet of pink roses. Ebony, I need to tell you something, he said in a very serious voice, giving me the roses. Fuck off, I told him. You know I fucking hate the color pink anyway. And I don't like fucked up preps like you, he snapped. Hagrid had been mean to me before for being gothic. No, enemy, Hagrid said. Those are not roses. What? Are they goths too, you poser prep? I asked, because I was angry that he had brought me pink roses. I saved your life, He yelled angrily. No, you didn't, I replied. You saved me from getting a Paris Hilton pee video made from your shower scene and being viewed by Snape and Lupin, who masturbated to it, he added silently. Whatever, he yelled angrily. He pointed his wand at the pink roses. These aren't roses, he suddenly yelled at them, with an evil look in his eye, and muttered, well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say. That's not a spell, that's an MCR song, I corrected him wisely. I know, I was just warming up my vocal cords. Then he screamed, Petulis merengo mi cremicili romaccio. Imo noto okayo. And then the roses turned into a huge black flame, floating in the middle of the air. And it was black. Now I knew he wasn't a prep. Okay, I believe you now. What the fuck is Draco? Hagrid rolled his eyes. I looked into the balls of flame, but I could see nothing. You see, Enderby, Dumbledore said, watching the two of us watching the flame. To see what is in the flames, you must find yourself first, okay? I have found myself, okay, you mean old man, Hagrid yelled. Dumbledore looked shocked. I guess he didn't have a headache, or else he would have said something back. Hagrid stormed off back into his bed. You are a liar, Professor Dumbledore. Anyway, when I got better, I went upstairs and put on a black leather mini dress that was all ripped on the ends with lace on it. There was some corset stuff on the front. And then I put on black fishnets and black high-heeled boots with pictures of Billy Joe Armstrong on them. I put my hair all out around me, so I look like Samara from The Ring. If you don't know who she is, you're prep, so fuck off. And I put on blood red lipstick, black eyeliner, and black lip gloss. You look kawaii, girl. Off now, have fun with your nonsense fanfiction. See you later on. Alright, bye Latte, thank you very much for stopping by. You take care now, okay? And a hydrate. As the barista cat work, I shall. Bloody Mary said sadly, thanks, you do too. I said get sadly too, but I was still upset. I slit both of my wrists feeling totally depressed, and I sucked all the blood. I cried again in my bathroom and put the shades on so Snape and Lupin couldn't spy on me this time. I went to some classes. Vampire was in the hair of magic creatures. He looked all depressed because Draco had disappeared, and he used to be in love with Draco. He was sucking some blood from a Hufflepuff. Aye, he said in a depressed way. I back, I said in an equally sad way. We both looked at each other for some time. Harry had beautiful red gothic eyes, so much like Draco. Then we jumped on each other and started screwing each other. Stop it! You horny simpletons! Shouted Professor McGonagall, who was watching us, and so was everyone else. Vampire, you fucker, I said, slapping him. Stop trying to screw me. You know I love Draco. I shouted and then I ran away angrily. Just then, he started to scream, OMFG, no! My scar hurts! And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. No! I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted. I do, but Diabolo changed into a pentagram for me. And I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurts, and then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him in bondage. Vampire and I ran up the stairs looking for Dumbledore. We were so scared. Dumbledore, Dumbledore! We both yelled. Dumbledore came there. What is it that you want now, you despicable snobs? He asked angrily. Voldemort has Draco! We shouted at the same time. He laughed in an evil voice. No, don't! We need to save Draco! We begged. No, he said meanly. I don't give a darn what Voldemort does to Draco. Not after how much he misbehaved in school. Especially with you, Ebony. He said while he frowned, looking at me. Besides, I never really liked him that much anyway. Then he walked away. Vampire started crying. My Draco! He moaned. It's okay. I tried to tell him, but that didn't stop him. He started to cry tears of blood. Then he had a brainstorm. I had an idea! He exclaimed. What? I asked him. You'll see. He said. He took out his wand and did a spell. Then, suddenly, we were in Voldemort's lair. We ran in with our words, wands out, just as we heard a croon voice say, Alakadabra! It was Voldemort. Hi, Kaysan. Yeah, stories. We're reading My Immortal, a Harry Potter fanfiction today. Thank you for the bonks. Glad you're back. We ran to where Voldemort was. It turned out that Voldemort wasn't there. Instead, the fat guy who killed Cedric was. Draco was there crying tears of blood. Snaketail was torturing him. Vampire and I ran in front of Snaketail. Rid my sight, you despicable preps! He shouted as we started shooting him with the gun. He then suddenly looked at me and he fell down with a lovey-dovey look in his face. Huh? I asked. Annabie, I love you. Will you have sex with me? Asked Snaketail. I started laughing crudely. What the fuck? You torture my BF and then you expect me to fuck you? God, you're so fucking fucked up, you fucking bastard. I said angrily. Then I stabbed him in the heart. Blood poured out of it like a fountain. No! He screamed. He started screaming and running around. Then he fell down and died. I burst into tears sadly. Snaketail, what art thou doing? Called Voldemort. Then he started coming. My pants are stuck on my pants. Yo, no. Not the pants stuck on pants. We could hear his high heels clacking to us. So we got on our broomsticks and we flew to Hogwarts. We went to my room. The vampire went away. Then I started crying. What's wrong, honey? Asked Draco, taking off his clothes so he could screw. He had a six-pack. And a really huge you-know-what and everything. It's so unfair, I yelled. Why can't I just be ugly or plain like all the other girls in preps here except for Bloody Mary? Because she's not ugly or anything. Why would you want to be ugly? I don't like the preps anyway, they're such fucking sluts, answered Draco. Yeah, but everyone is in love with me. Like, Snape and Lupin took a video of me naked. Hagrid says he's in love with me. Vampire likes me. And now even Snaketail's in love with me. I just want to be with you, okay, Draco? Why couldn't Satan have made me less beautiful? I'm good at too many things. Why can't I just be normal? It's a fucking curse. And then I ran away. Ebony! Ebony! Shouted Draco sadly. No, please come back! But I was too mad. Whatever. Now you can go have sex with Vampire. I shouted. I stormed into our room and closed my black door with my blood red key. It had a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. It looked so sexy in a way that reminded me of Draco and Vampire. I started to cry and weep. I took a razor and started to slit my wrist. I drank the blood, all depressed. Then I looked at my black GC watch and noticed it was time to go to biology. I put on a short ripped black gothic dress that said Anarchy on the front, in blood red letters, and was all ripped in a spiky belt. Under that I put on ripped black fishnets and boots that said Jewel, all over them with blood red letters. I put my ebony black hair out. Anyway, I went downstairs feeling all sad and depressed, as usual. I did some advanced biology work. I was turning a bloody pentagram into a black guitar. Suddenly, the guitar turned to Draco. "Enemy, I love you," he shouted sadly. "I don't care what those fucker preps and posers think. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. Before I met you, I used to want to commit suicide all the time. Now I just want to fucking be with you. I fucking love you." Then he started to sing the Chronicles of Life and Death. We considered our song now because we fell in love with Joel. We fell in love with Joel singing it, right in front of the entire class. His singing voice was so amazing and gothic and sexy, like a cross between Gerard, Joel, Chester, Pierre, and Marilyn Manson. "OMFG," I said after he was finished. Some fucking prep stared at us, but I just stuck up my middle finger. They were covered in black nail polish and were intertwined with Draco's now. "I love you." We started to kiss just like Hilary Duff and CMM in a Cinderella story. Then we went away holding hands. Lupin shouted at us, but he stopped because everyone was clapping by how sexy we looked together. Then I saw a poster saying that MCR would have a concert in Hogsmeade right then. We looked at each other all shocked, and then we went together. What the fuck, Draco? Oh shit, my bad. I skipped the whole paragraph. We ran happily to Hogsmeade. There we saw the stage where GC had played. We ran in happily. MCR were there playing Helena. I was so fucking happy. Gerard looked even sexier than he did in the pictures. Even Draco thought so. I could totally see him getting an erection. "Hi Huma, thank you for being here. How are you?" Very unfortunate that you came in reading during the story, but I am reading My Immortal, a Harry Potter fanfiction. I'm glad you could make it. Please stick around. Pull up the chair, hang out, just ate lunch? Ooh, yummy. What'd you eat? Ah, pizza. A good classic. You can never go wrong with pizza. I think I had like my first meal of the day like an hour ago. Or no, a little bit, about maybe an hour and a half ago. Right before I streamed. I don't know, I just didn't really feel hungry all day until like right before. Yeah, it's good. I hope it was yummy. You have any other plans today? I was wearing a black leather mini dress and black leather platinum boots with red ribbed fishnets. Draco was wearing a black baggy MCR t-shirt and black baggy pants. Anyways, we started moshing to Helena. We Frenched. We ran up to the front of the band to stage dive. Suddenly, Gerard put off his mask. So did the others. We gasped. It wasn't them at all. It was Voldemort and the Death Eaters. "What the fuck, Draco? I'm not going to a concert with you," I shouted angrily. "Not after what happened to me last time. Even if it's MCR, and you know how much I like them. Because we, He gadgeted uncomfortably because guys don't like to talk about you know what. Yeah, because I yelled in an angry voice. We won't do that again, Draco promised. This time we're going with an escort. OMG, what the fuck? Are you giving into the mainstream? I asked. So I guess you're a prep or a Christian or what now? No, he muttered loudly. Are you becoming a prep or what? I shouted angrily. Enemy, I'm not. Please come with me. He fell down to his knees and started singing The World is Black by GC to me. I was flattened, because that's not even a single. He had memorized the lyrics just for me. Then, I guess I'll have to, he said. And then we Frenched for a while, and I went up to my room. Bloody Mary was standing there. Hajime mashite, girl, she said happily. She speaks Japanese, so do I. That means how do you do in Japanese. By the way, Willow, that fucking poser got expelled. She failed all her classes and she skipped math. It serves that fucking bitch right. I laughed angrily. Well, anyway, we were feeling all depressed. We watched some gothic movies like That's Nightmare Before Christmas. Maybe Willow will die too, I said. Kawaii. Bloody Mary shook her head energetically, lethargically. Oh yeah, I have a confession. After she got expelled, I murdered her, and then Lupin did it with her because he's a necrophilic. Kawaii, I commented happily. We talked to each other in silence for the rest of the movie. Oh hey, by the way, I'm going to a concert with Draco tonight in Hogsmeade with MCR, I said. I need to wear like the hottest outfit ever. Bloody Mary nodded energetically. OMFG, totally. Let's go shopping. Hot Topic, right? I asked, already getting out my special Hot Topic loyalty card. No. My head snapped up. What? My head spun. I couldn't believe it. Bloody Mary, are you a prep? No. I found some cool gothic stars near Hogwarts, that's all. You told me about them, I asked. Here would be Draco or Diablo or Vampire. Don't even say that name to me. Dumbledore. Let me just call her Brooms. OMG, Dumbledore? I asked quietly. Yeah, I saw the map for Hogsmeade on his desk. Come on, let's go. We were going in a few punk goth stores specifically for the concerts in Hogsmeade. The salesperson was OMG, hotter than Gerard, except not because that's impossible. And he gave me a few dresses. We only have these for the real goths. The real goths? Me and Bloody Mary asked. Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many posters there are in this town, man. Yesterday, Lupin and Snape tried to buy a gothic camera pouch. Shook his head. I didn't even know they had a camera. Oh my fucking god, no, they're gonna spy on me again. I cried running out of the changing room wearing a long black dress with lots of red tulle coming out and a very low cut with a huge slit. Oh my Satan, you have to buy that outfit, salesperson said. Yeah, it looks totally hot, said Bloody Mary. You know what? I'm gonna give it to you free, because you look really hot in that outfit. Hey, are you gonna be at the concert tonight? He asked. Yeah, I am actually. I like that. Hey, by the way, my name's Ebony Darkness Dementia Tearaway. What's yours? Tom Ridd, he said, and ran a hand through his black-dyed hair. Maybe I'll see you there tonight. Yeah, I don't think so, because I'm going there with my boyfriend, Draco, you sick perv. I yelled back before he could beg me to go with him. Hagrid flew in on his black broom, looking worried. OMFG, Ebony, you need to get back into the castle now. Tom Riddle gave us some clothes and stuff for free. He said he would help us with makeup if he wanted because he was really into fashion and stuff. He's bisexual. Hagrid kept shooting at us to come back to Hogwarts. What the fuck, Hagrid? They shouted angrily. Fuck off, you fucking bastard. Well, anyway, Willow came. Hagrid went away angrily. Hey, bitch, you look kawaii, she said. Yeah, but not as kawaii as you, I answered sadly. Because Willow's really pretty and everything. She was wearing a short black corset thingy with blood red lace on it and a black blood red miniskirt, leather fishnets, and black pointy boots that showed off how pale she was. She had a really nice body with big boobs and everything. She was thin enough to be anorexic. So are you going to the concert with Draco? She asked. Yeah, I said happily. I'm going with Diabolo, she answered happily. Well, anyway, Draco and Diabolo came. They were both looking extremely hot and sexy, and you could tell they thought we were at two. Diabolo was wearing a black t-shirt that said 666 on it. He was wearing tons of makeup, just like Marilyn Manson. Draco was wearing black leather pants, a gothic black GC t-shirt, and black Vans he got from the Warped Tour. Bloody Mary was going to the concert with Dracola. Dracola used to be called Neville, but it turned out he was kidnapped at birth, and his real family were vampires. They died in a car crash. Neville converted Satanism and he went goth. He was in Slytherin now. He was wearing a black Warped t-shirt, black jeans and shoes, and black hair with red streaks. We call him Dracula now. Well, anyway, we all went to Draco's black Mercedes-Benz that his dad Lucian gave him. We did pot, coke, and crack. Draco and I made out. We made fun of those stupid fucking preps. We soon got there. I gasped. You moronic. Gerard was the sexiest guy ever. He looked even sexier than he did in pics. He had long raven black hair and piercing blue eyes. He was really skinny and he had an amazing ethnic voice. We moshed his Helena and some older songs. Suddenly, Gerard pulled off his mask. So did the other members. I gasped. It wasn't Gerard at all. It was an ugly, preppy man with no nose and red eyes. Everyone ran away but me and Draco. Draco and I came. It was Voldemort and the Death Eaters. You moronic idiot, he shouted anxiously. Enemy, I told you to kill vampire. Thou have failed, and now I shall kill thou and Draco. No, no, please, we begged sadly, but he took out his knife. Suddenly, a gothic old man blew it on his broomstick. He had long black hair and a long black beard. He was wearing a black robe that said Avril Lavigne on the back. He shouted a spell and Voldemort ran away. It was Dumbledore. I woke up the next day in my coffin. I walked out of it and put on some black eyeliner, black eyeshadow, blood red lipstick, and a black really low-cut leather dress. That was all ripped and in stripes so you could see my belly. I was wearing a skull belly ring with black and red diamonds inside it. The night before Draco and I went back to the skull, Dumbledore chased Voldemort away. We flew there on our brooms. Mine was black and the broom stuff was blood red. There was lace all over it. Draco had a black MCR broom. We went back to our rooms and we had to a Linkin Park song. Well, anyway, I went down to the Great Hall. There, all the walls were painted black and the tables were black too. But you could see that there were pink paint underneath the black paint. And there were posters of poser bands everywhere, like Ashley Simpson and Backstreet Boys. What the fuck? I shouted, going to sit next to Bloody Mary and Willow. Bloody Mary was wearing a black leather mini with a Good Charlotte t-shirt, black fishnets, and black pointy boots. Willow was wearing a long gothic black dress with blood writing that was all lacy and came up to her thighs, black boots and fishnets. Vampire, Dracula, and Draco came. They started talking about who's sexier, Mikey, Gerard Way, or Billy Joe Armstrong. The boys all joined in because they were bi. Those guys are so fucking hot, Neville was saying, as suddenly a gothic old man with a black beard and everything came. It was the same one who chased Voldemort away yesterday. He had normal tan skin, but he was wearing white foundation, and he had dyed his hair black. Dumbledore? We all gasped. Fuck, I shouted angrily. I thought he was just wearing that to scare Voldemort. Hello, everyone, he said happily. As you can see, I gave the room a makeover. What do you think? Everyone from the poser table in Gryffindor started to cheer. Well, we goths just looked at each other all disgusted and shook our heads. We couldn't believe what a poser he was. By the way, you can call me Albert, he called as we left our classes. What a fucking poser, Draco shouted angrily as we were to transformation. We were holding hands. The vampire looked really jealous. I could see him crying blood in a gothic way. But I didn't say anything. I bet he's having a midlife crisis, Willa shouted. I was so fucking angry. All day, we sat angrily thinking about Dumbledore. We were so fucking pissed off. Well, I had one thing to look forward to. The MCR concert. It had been postponed, so we could all go. Anyway, I went to the common room sadly to cut class. Draco was being all secretive. I asked what it was and he got all mad and started crying all hot and angsty. Aren't sensitive bi guys so hot? No one fucking understands me, he shouted angrily as his black hair went in his big blue eyes like Billy Joe in Boulevard of Broken Dreams. He was wearing black baggy pants, a black MCR t-shirt and a black tie. I was wearing a black leather low-cut top with chains all over it, a black leather mini, black high-heel boots, and a crossbelly ring. My hair was all up in a messy real high bun like Amy Lee in Going Under. Accuse me? What about me? But you fucking bastard, I moaned. No wait, it's not what it fucking looks like, he shouted. But it was too late. I knew what I heard. I ran to the bathroom angrily crying. Draco banged on the door. I whipped and wept as my bloody eyeliner streamed down my cheeks and made cool tears down my face, like Benji in the video for Girls and Boys. I took out a cigarette and started to smoke pot. Suddenly Hagrid came. He had apparated. You gave me a fucking shock, I shouted angrily, dropping my pot. What do you think you're doing in a girl's room? Only it wasn't just Hagrid. Someone else was there too. For a second I wanted to be Tom Ridd, or maybe Draco, but it was Dumbledore. Hey, I need to ask you a question, he said, pulling out his black wannabe gothic purse. What are you wearing to the concert? You know who MCR? I gasped. No, I just saw there was a concert that a lot of goths and punks were going to. Anyway, Draco has a surprise for you. All day I wondered what the surprise was. Meanwhile, I put on a black leather mini, a black corset with purple lace stuff all over it, and black gothic compact boots. MCR were going to do the concert again, since Voldemort had taken over the last one. I slit my wrist while I moshed to MCR in my bedroom all night, feeling excited. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door while I was trying on some black clothes and moshing to thank you for the venom. I got all mad and turned it off, but scaredly, I hoped inside that it was Draco so we could do it again. What the hell are you doing? I shouted angrily. It was Lupin. Are you gonna come rape me or what? I yelled. I was allowed to say that because Dumbledore had told us to be careful around him and Snape since he was a pedo. No, actually. Can I please borrow some condoms? He growled angrily. Yeah, so you can fuck your 6-year-old girlfriend, huh? I shouted sarcastically. Fucker, he said, going away. Well, anyway, I put on some black eyeshadow, black eyeliner, and some black lipstick with white foundation. Then I went. Then I gasped. Snape and Lupin were in the middle of the empty hall doing it, and Dobby was watching. Oh my god, you ludicrous idiot! They both shouted angrily when they saw me. Dobby ran away crying. They got up though. Normally I would have been turned on. I love seeing guys do it, but both of them are fucking preps. By the way, Snape is moved to Gryffindor now? What the fuck is that? Why you wanted condoms? I asked sarcastically. Sadistically. Only you wouldn't give them to me. Well, you should have told me, I heard played. You dimwit. Snake began to shoot angrily, and then I took out my black camera and took a picture of them. You could see that they were naked and everything. Well, excuse me. They both shouted angrily. What was that all about? It was to blackmail you, I snarked. So next time you see me doing it with my boyfriend, you can't fucking rat me out, or I'll show this to Dumbledore. So fuck off, you bastards. I started to run. They chased me, but I threw my wound at them and they tripped over it. Well, anyway, I went outside and there was Vampire, looking extremely fucking hot. What the fuck, where's Draco? Oh, he's being a fucking bastard. He told me he wouldn't come. Vampire said, shaking his head. You wanna come with me to the concert? Then he showed me his flying car. It was a black car. He said his dog father, Sirius Black, had given it to him. The license plate on the front said MCR 666. The one on the back said Enemy on it. I gasped. We flew to the concert hall. MCR was there playing. Vampire and I began to make out, moshing to the music. I gasped, looking at the band. I almost had an orgasm. Gerard was so fucking hot. He began to sing Helena, and his sexy, beautiful voice began to fill the hall. And then I heard some crying. He turned and saw Draco crying in a corner. We're a little bit more than halfway through. I'm gonna take a little bit of break, refill in some water, and we'll be back real soon. Hello again, everyone. Thank you for waiting. I hope you didn't miss me too bad. I think we're about ready to get started again. Later, we all went in school. Draco was crying in the common room. Draco, are you okay? I asked in a gothic voice. No, I'm not, you fucking bitch! He shouted angrily. He started to run out of the place in a suicidal way. I started to cry because I was afraid he would commit suicide. It's okay, Annaby. I'll make him feel better, said Vampire. You mean you'll go fuck him, won't you? I shouted angrily. Then I ran to get Draco. The vampire came too. Draco, please come, he began to cry. Tears of blood came down his pale face. I was so turned on because I love sensitive bi guys. And then we heard some footsteps. Vampire got out his black invisibility cloak. We both got under it. Saw the janitor, Mr. Norris, there, shouting angrily with a flashlight in his hand. Who's there? He shouted angrily. We saw Filch come. He went under the invisibility cloak and started to meow loudly. Is anyone there? Yelled Mr. Doris. No, you preppy little poser son of a fucking bitch. Vampire said under his breath in a disgusted way. Excuse me, who said that? Yelled Mr. Norris. Then he heard Filch meow. Filch is the one under the cloak? He asked. Filch nodded and then Vampire Frenched me. He did just as Mr. Norris was taking off the cloak. What the? He yelled, but it was too late. Because now we were running away from him. And then we saw Draco crying and bursting in tears. And slitting his wrists outside of the school. Draco, I cried, are you okay? I guess. Draco wept. We went back to our coffins, Frenching each other. Draco and I decided to watch Lake Placid on the gothic red bed together. As I was about to put in the video, my eyes rolled up and suddenly I had a vision. Something that's happening now. There was a knock on the door, and Fudge and the Mystery of Magic walked into the school. All day, everyone talked about the mystery of magic. Well, anyways, I woke up the next day. I was in my coffin, so I opened the door. I was wearing black, lacy leather pajamas, then I gasped. Standing in front of me were Bloody Mary, Vampire, Diabolo, Draco, Dracula, and Willow. I opened my eyes. Crimson eyes. Willow was wearing a tight black leather top with pictures of bloody roses all over it. Under that, she wore a black poofy skirt with lace on it and black gothic boots that are attached to the top. Vampire was wearing a baggy Simple Plan t-shirt and baggy black pants and Vans. Draco was wearing a black MCR t-shirt and black jeans and a leather jacket. He looked just like Gerard Way and almost as fucking sexy. Vampire looked like Joel Madden. Bloody Mary was wearing a tight black poofy gothic dress that she had ripped so it showed off all her cleavage, with a white apron that said bitch, and other swear words and MCR lyrics on it. Kind of like one dress I had seen Amy Lee wear once. Darkness, who was Jenny, was there too. She was wearing a ripped gothic black dress with ripped stuff all over it, and a lace-up top thing and black pointy boots. So were Crab and Goyle. Turns out that Darkness, Diabolo, Crab and Goyle's dad was a vampire. He committed suicide by slitting his wrist with a razor. He had raped them too and stuff before that. They all got so depressed that they became gothic and converted to Satanism. OMFG, I yelled as I jumped up. Why the fuck are you all here? And if something's really fucked up, Draco said. Okay, but I need to put my fucking clothes on first? I shouted angrily. It's alright. We have to go now, and you look kawaii anyways. So fucking beautiful. Draco said in a sexy voice. Oh, alright, I said, smiling. But you have to tell me why you're being all secretive. I will. So I just put on some black eyeliner, black lipstick, and red eyeshadow and white foundation. Then I came. We all went outside the Great Hall and looked in from a window. A fucking prep called Brittany from Gryffindor was standing next to us. She was wearing a pink mini and a Hilary Duff t-shirt, so we put up our middle fingers at her. Inside the Great Hall we could see Dumbledore. Cornelia Fudge was there shouting at Dumbledore. Doris Rumbridge was there too. This cannot be, she shouted angrily. The school must be closed. The Bark Lord is planning to kill the students, yelled Cornelia Fudge. You are not fit to be the principal any longer, yelled Umbridge. You are too old and your Alzheimer's is dangerous. You must retry or Voldemort will kill your students. Very well, Dumbledore said angrily. But we cannot do this. We can't close the school. There's only one person who's capable of killing Voldemort, and she is in the school. And her name is Envy, Darkness, Dementia, Ravenway. Draco, Crab, Goyle, Darkness, Willow, Vampire, and Bloody Mary looked at each other. And I gasped. The door opened, and Professor Rumbridge and Cornelia Fudge stomped out angrily. Then Dumbledore and Rumbridge sawed us. Mr. Way, what the beep are you doing? Rumbridge shouted angrily. Dumbledore blared at her. Oops, she made a mistake. He corrupted her. She means, hi everybody, come in. Well, we all came in angrily. So did all the other students. I sat between Darkness and Draco, and opposite Bloody Mary. Crab and Goyle started to make some morbid jokes. They both looked exactly like Velvolo. I ate some Count Chocula and drank some blood from a cup. Then I heard someone shooting angrily. I looked behind me. It was Vampire. Me and Draco were shooting at each other. Vampire, Draco, what the fuck? I asked. You fucking bastard, yelled Draco at Vampire. I want to sit next to her. No, I do, shouted Vampire. No, she doesn't fucking like you, you son of a bitch, yelled Draco. No, fuck you, motherfucker. She loves me, not you, shouted Vampire, and then he jumped on Draco. They started to fight and beat up each other. Dumbledore yelled at them, but they didn't stop. All of a sudden, a terrible man with red eyes and no nose flew in on his broomstick. He had no nose and was wearing a grey robe. All the glass in the window he flew through fell apart. Brittany, that fucking prep, started to cry. Vampire and Draco stopped fighting. Stopped eating. Everyone gasped. The room fell silent. Voldemort. Ebony. Ebony. Darth Vader said evilly in his rappy voice. Thou have failed your mission. And I shall kill thou, and I shall kill Vampire as well. If thou does not kill him before, then I shall kill Draco too. Please, don't make me kill him, I begged. No. Kill him, or I shall kill him anyways. And he flew away cackling. I burst into tears. Draco and Vampire came to comfort me. Suddenly my eyes rolled up so they looked all cool and gothic. I had a vision where I saw some lightning flash, and then Voldemort coming to kill Draco, while Draco slit his wrist in a depressed way. No! I shouted sexily. Suddenly I looked up and stopped having the vision. Ebony. Ebony, are you alright? Asked Draco in a worried voice. Yeah. Said sadly as I got up. Everything's alright, Ebony. Said Vampire, all secretive. Sensitive. No, it's not! I shouted angrily. Tears of blood went down my face. Oh my fucking god, what if I'm getting possessed like in The Ring too? It's okay, girl, said Bloody Mary. Maybe you should ask Professor Sinister about what the visions mean, though. Okay, bitch, I said sadly, and then went. Well, we had deviation next, so I got to ask Professor Travolary about the visions. Konnichiwa, everybody come in, said Professor Sinister in Japanese. She smiled at me with her gothic black lipstick. She's the coolest fucking teacher ever. She had long, dead, black hair, with blood red strips and red eyes. Her mom was a vampire. She's also half Japanese, so she speaks it and everything. She and Bloody Mary get along great. She's really young for a teacher. Today she was wearing a black leather top with red lace and a long gothic black ribbed dress. We went inside the black classroom with pastors of Emily the Strong. I raised my hand. I was wearing some black nail polish with red pentagrams on it. What is it, Ebony? Hey, I love your nail polish. Where'd you get it? Hot Topic? Yeah, I answered. All the preps who didn't know what HT was gave me weird looks. I gave them the middle finger. Well, I have to talk to you about some things. When do you want to do it? How about now? She asked. Okay, I said. Okay, class fucking dismissed everyone, Professor Trevelry said, and she let everyone go. Except for you, Brittany. She pointed at Brittany and some other preps. Please do exercise 1 on page 3. Okay, I'm having lots of visions, I said in a worried voice. I'm so worried. Is Draco going to die? Well, she gave me a black crystal ball to look in. I looked at it. What do you see? I said I see a black gothic skull and a pentagram. Suddenly there was a knock at the door. I looked at it and it was Draco. He was looking really sexy, wearing a black leather facet, a black gothic Linkin Park t-shirt, and black Congress shoes. Okay, you can go now. See ya, cunt, said Professor Sinister. Bye, bitch, I said, waving. I went to Draco and Vampire sitting next to him. We both followed Draco together and I was so excited. I followed Draco wondering if we were going to do it again. We went outside and then we went into Draco's black minicar. What did Mr. Trevelyan say? Whispered Draco, putting his gothic white hand with black nail polish on mine. She said she would tell me what the visions meant tomorrow. I grumbled in a sexy voice. He took out a heroin cabaret and spiked it, and he gave it to me to spork. He started to fly the car into a tree. We went to the top of it. Draco put on some MCR. We started tilling off each other's clothes fervently. He took off my black thong and my black leather bra. I took off his black boxers. Then he put his throbbing you-know-what in my tool sexily. I screamed, having an orgasm. We started Frenching passively. Suddenly, I fell asleep. I started having a dream. In it, a black guy was shooting 2 gothic men with long black hair. No, please don't fucking kill us, they pleaded, but he just kept shooting them. He ran away in a red car. No, my fucking god, I shouted in a scared voice. Ebony, what's wrong? Draco asked me as I woke up, opening my icy blue eyes. I started crying and tears of blood went down my face. I told Draco to call Vampire. He did it with his black Linkin Park mobile. But the worst thing was the people who were shot in the dream were Lucian and Sirius. A few minutes later, Vampire came to the tree. He was wearing a black leather jacket, black leather pants, and a Good Charlotte t-shirt. Hi, Vampire, I said flirtily as I started to sob. Draco hugged me sexily, trying to comfort me. I started to cry tears of blood and then told them what happened. Oh, fuck it! Vampire shouted angrily. He started to cry sadly. What fucking dick did it? I don't know, I said. Now come on, we have to tell Dumbledore. We ran out of the tree and into the castle. Dumbledore was sitting in his office. Sire, our dads have been shot, Draco said while we wiped some tears from his white face. And we had a vision and a dream. Dumbledore started to cockle. And how do you expect me to know? I mean, he's not delusional. There to Dumbledore. Look, motherfucker, said angrily as Dumbledore gasped. You know very well I'm not delusional. I get some fucking people out there to look for Sirius and Lucian Porto. Okay. He said in an intimidated voice. Where are they? I thought about it. Then all of a sudden, Longden. I told him which street. He went and called some people and did some stuff. After a few missed stints, he came back and said people were going out looking for them. After a while, someone called him again. He said that they had been found. Draco, Vampire, and I all left to our rooms together. I went with Draco to wait in the nurse's office while Vampire went to slit his wrist in his room. We looked at each other's gothic depressed eyes, then we kissed. Suddenly, Sirius and Lucian came in on stretchers, and Professor Sinister was behind them. Everyone in the room started to cry happily. I had saved them. Draco, Lucian, Sirius, Bond, Vampire all came to hug me. The nurse started to give them medicine. Come on, Ennaby, said Professor Sinatra. She was wearing a gothic black leather dress with a corset top and real vampire blood on it and fucking black platinum boots. I have to tell you the fucking perdition. I looked at Lucian, Seraph, Drake, and Vampire. They nodded. I smelled happily. It went into a dark room. I had changed for Sinistra, got some black cards. She started to look into a black crucible ball. She said, Tara, I see dark times are near. You see, you must go back in time. When Voldemort was in Hogwarts before he became powerful, he got his heart broken. Now, do you think he would still become Voldemort if he was in love? I shook my head. You must go back in time and seduce him. It is the only way. If he is so evil, then you must kill him. You can come to my room tomorrow and you can do it. Okay, I said sadly. We did touch the sin. I went outside again sadly. What fucking happened? Asked Draco and Vampire. Yeah, what happened? Asked Darkness, Willow, and Bloody Mary. I was about to tell them, but everyone was there. They were celebrating Lucian and Sirius being found. Everyone was proud of me, but I just wanted to talk to Draco. They were cheering my name, and some reporters were there, trying to interview Dumbledore. A banner was put up. Lots of fucking preps were there, obviously trying to be gothic, wearing the him sign on their hands, despite them not having actually heard of him. Even Mr. Norris looked happy. A black and red cake had been brought out. Crabbe and Goyle set up some fireworks in the shape of skulls from Weasley's Wizard's Wises. I had put on my invisibility cloak with Vampire and Draco, and we sneaked outside together. We went in the black room. The walls were black with portraits of gothic bands like MCR, DC, and Marilyn Manson all over them. A big black coffin was in the middle. Red velvet lined the black box. There were 3 chairs made of bones with real skulls in them. I was wearing a black corset bra with purple stuff on it, fishnet stockings, and a black leather thong underneath. I sat down on one of the chairs dispersedly. So did Draco and Vampire. Are you okay? Vampire asked, putting his alabastered hand on mine. He was wearing black nail polish. I was wearing black nail polish with red crosses on it. Yeah, I guess, I said sadly. Draco also put his hand on mine sexily. I smiled sadly with my black lipstick. Problem is, I have to seduce Voldemort. I'll have to go back in time. Draco started to cry sadly. The Vampire hugged him. It's okay, Ebony, he said finally. But what about me? You're not gonna break up with me or anything, are you? Of course not, I gasped. Really? He asked. Sure, I said. We Frenched sexily. Vampire looked at us longingly. Then I took off Draco's MCR shirt and seductively took off his pants. He was hung like a stallion. He had replaced a vampire tattoo that said enemy on it. Black roses were around it. He looked like Gerard Way. Vampire took a video camera. I had said it was okay before. I took off my clothes. Then we were in for the ride of our lives. We started Frenching as we climbed into the coffin. He put his Spock in my you-know-what, and passionately we did it. I love you, Epi. Oh, let me feel you, I need to feel you. He screamed as we got an orgasm. We watched Vampire filmed everything perfectly. Suddenly, what the fuck are you doing? It was Snape and Professor McGonagall. Oh my Satan, we screamed as we jumped out of the coffin. Snape and Professor McGonagall started to shoot at us angrily. Come now, Preacher McGonagall yielded. We did guiltily. We left the room putting on our clothes. Snape grabbed the camera and put it in his pocket. Hey, what the fuck? Vampire shouted angrily. Yeah, Buster, what the fuck are you gonna do with that fucking camera? Draco demanded, all protective, looking at me longingly with his gothic red eyes. Look, Dumbledore knows your little secrets. If you do this again, then you will go to St. Mungo's. So give back the camera. The Mystery of Magic thinks he's crazy. There's no way he'll believe him. Yeah, so shut your mouths, you insolent fools, yelled Professor McGonagall. She made us come into a weird room with white stones all around it. There are all these weird tools in it. Draco started to cry all sexy and sensitive. I started to cry tears of blood. Vampire took out a black handkerchief and started to wipe my red eyes. And then he and Snape both took out guns using magic. They started to shoot each other angrily. None of the bullets got on each other, yet I took out my wand. Crucio, I shouted. Snape started to scram. He dropped the gun. It was too late. Both of them had run out of bullets. I stopped the curse. Professor McGonagall did a spell so that we were all chained up. She took out a box of tools. Then she said, "Okay, Severus, I'm going to go now." She left. Snape started to laugh evilly. Vampire started to cry. It's Canopy. Evergreen will be alright. Remember the video you took of Snake? Snape laughed again, and then he took out some whips. No! We screamed sadly. Snape started laughing meanly. He took out a camera, then he came towards Draco. He took some stones out of his pocket. He put the stones around Draco and lit a candle. "What are you doing?" I shouted angrily. Snape laughed meanly. He pulled down his pants. I gasped. There was a dark mark on his you-know-what. He waved his hand and a knife came. He gave the knife to me. "You must stab, Vampire," he said to me. "If you don't, then I'll rape Draco." "No, you fucking bastard." But then Draco looked at me sadly with his evil gothic eyes that looked so depressed and sad. Sexy. He looked exactly like a pentagram. Between Kurt Cobain and Gerard. But then I looked at Vampire and he looked so sexy too, with his gothic black hair. I thought of the time when we screwed, and the time I did with Draco and Dumbledore came, and the time where Draco almost committed suicide and Vampire was so supportive. Snape laughed angrily, started to pray to Voldemort. He started to do an incantation, dancing around the Stokes, whipping Draco and Vampire. Suddenly, an idea I had. I closed my eyes and, using my vampire powers, I sent a telepathic message to Draco and Vampire that they would distract Snape. "Dumbledore will get you," Draco shouted. "Yeah, just wait until the mystery find out," Vampire yelled. Meanwhile, I took out my wand. You ridiculous dunderhead, Snape yelled. He took off all of Draco's clothes, just as he was about to rape him. Crucio, I shouted, pointing my wand. Snape cried and started running around the room screaming. Meanwhile, I grabbed my black mobile and sent a text to Sirius. I stopped doing Crucio. You dunderhead, I'm gonna kill, shouted Snape, but suddenly, Severus came. Snape put the whip behind his back. Oh, hello, Sev. I was just teaching them something, he lied. But suddenly Lucian and Professor Trelawney came into the room, and they and Sirius unlocked the chains and put them around Snape. Then Professor Trelawney said, "Come on, Ebony, let's go." I always knew you were on Voldemort's side, you son of a bitch, Sirius said to Snape. No, I'm not. I was teaching them something, Snape claimed. Oh, fucking yeah? I took some black Voldemortium out of my pocket and gave it to Severus. He made Snape drink it. He did angrily. Then Lucius took out a tape recorder and started playing it while he did curses on Snape. Then Professor Sinister and Lucian made us get out with them, while Snape told his secrets. Lucian took Vampire and Draco to the nurse after thanking me a million times. Vampire Trelawney took me to a dark room. Now I was going to go back in time to seduce Voldemort. Moving posters MCR and Nirvana were all over. Hermione, Darkness, and Willow came too. Bloody Mary gave me a black bag from Tom Ridd's store. What's in the bag? I asked Professor Trelawney. You will see. I opened the bag. In it was a sexy, tight, low-smut, black leather gothic dress. It had red corset stuff and there was a slit up the leg. I put it on. My friends helped me put on black fishnets and black pointy boots Willow had chosen. Willow and Darkness helped me put on black eyeliner and blood red lipstick. You look fucking kawaii, bitch, Bloody Mary said. Thanks, I said. Okay, now you're gonna go back in time. You have to do it in a few sessions. She gave me a black gun. I put it on a strap on my fishnets, like in Resident Evil. Then she gave me a black time turner. After an hour, use the time turner to go get back here. Good luck, everyone shouted. Darkness and Willow gave me Death's Touch Sin. Then, I jumped sexily into the pensive. Suddenly, I was in front of the school. In front of me was one of the sexiest goth guys I'd ever seen. He was wearing long black hair, kinda like Mikey Way, only black. He had green eyes like Billy Joe Armstrong and pale white skin. He was wearing a black, ripped up suit with Vans. It was Tom Bombadil. Hi, I said threatily. I'm Ebony Way, the new student. I shook my pale hands with their black nail polish for them. The name's Tom, he said, but you can call me Satan. That's my middle name. Well, come on, we have to go upstairs. I followed him. Hey, Satan, do you happen to be a fan of Green Day? I asked. Fucking god, how did you know? Satan gasped. Actually, I like GC a lot too. OMG, me too, I replied happily. Guess what? They have a concert in Hogsmeade. Satan whispered. Hogsmeade? I asked. Yeah, that's what they used to call it in these times before it became Hogsmeade in 2000. He told me all secretly. And there's a really cool shop called Hot Topic I finished, happy again. He frowned confused. No, it's called Hot Isho. Then in 1998, they changed it to Hot Topic. Oh. Now everything was making sense for me. So is Dumbledore your principal? Uh-huh. I'm in Slytherin. OMG, me too, I shrieked. You go to the school? He asked. Yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm new. I smiled happy. Suddenly, Dumbledore flew in on his broomstick and started shredding at us angrily. No talking in the halls. He had short blonde hair and was wearing a polo shirt from American Oogle Outfitters. Stupid Goths. Dayton rolled his eyes. He's so mean to us Goths and punks just because we're in Slytherin and we're not preps. I turned around angrily. Actually, I think maybe it's because you're the Dark Lord. The fuck? He asked angrily. Oh, nothing, I said sweetly. Then suddenly, the floor opened. Oh fucking no! I screamed as I fell down. Everyone looked at me weirdly. Hey, where are you going? Zayden asked as I fell. I got out of the hole and was back in the Pensieve. In Professor Trevelyan's classroom, Dumbledore was there. Dumbledore, I think I just met you. Oh yeah, I remember that. Hey, this is my classroom. What the fuck? Enderby, what the hell are you doing? I looked at her. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. How? I screamed, forgetting she was a teacher for a second. But she's a god, so it's okay. Professor Sinister looked sad. I was drinking Voldemort's serum. She started to cry black tears of depression. Dumbledore didn't know about them. Hey, are you crying tears of blood? He asked curiously, touching a tear. Fuck off! We both said, and Dumbledore took his hand away. Professor Sinister started crying again in her chair, sobbing limpid tears. Oh gee, Enderby, I think I'm addicted to Voldemort's serum. Oh my fucking god, I shouted sadly. Should we get you to St. Mungo's, bitch? Hell no, she said. Listen, Eggogi, I need your help. Next time you go back in time, do you think you could ask Tom Anderson for some help? Sure, I said sadly. I went outside. Draco was there. He was wearing a black GC t-shirt, which was the pajamas. Hey, sexy, it said. How'd it go, Enderby? He asked, and his voice was so sexy and low, kind of like Gerard Way when he's talking. Fine, I responded. We started to go back into the dorms. How far did he go at Zayden? Draco asked, jealously. Not too far, Lo. I barked. Will you have to do it with him? Draco asked anxiously. I hope not too far, I shouted angrily. Then I felt bad for shouting at him. I said sorry, we Frenched. What happened to Snape? You'll see. Draco giggled mischievously. He opened the door. Snape and Lumpkins were there. Sirius was poking them by staging them with a knife. No, please, Lumpkin begged as Sirius started to suck his blood. I laughed statistically. I took some photons of him and Snape being tortured. We took some of Snape's blood, then Draco and I went back to our rooms. We sat on my gothic black coffin. His gloves were kind of dirty, so I put on a black leather outfit, kind of like the one Salian has in Underworld. I put on some black platform high heels. Draco put on Desolation Livers by MCR. Then we started to take each other's clothes off. I took off his shirt, and he had a six-pack. We started to make out like in The Grudge. He put his wetness in my you-know-what sexily. I got an orgy. I screamed passively as he got an erection. I love you, Tilbury. He whispered sexily, and then we fell asleep. I woke up in the coffin the next day. Draco was gone. I got up and put on a black tight sexy dress that was all ripped at the end. There was red corset stuff going up the front and the back, and it came up to my knees. There was a slit in the red dress like an Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I put on ripped black fishnets and black Stilton boots. Suddenly, Sirius knocked on the door. I opened it. Hi, Ebony. Guess what? You have to come to Professor Sinister's office. Okay, I said in a depressed voice. I'd wanted to fuck Draco, or maybe listen to MCR Evanescence. Came anyway. So what the fuck happened to Snape and Lupin? I fucking tortured them. He answered. They are in Azkaban now. Or Draco and Vampira. They're excused from school today. Right now they're watching The Nightmare Before Christmas. We went to the office. Professor Sinister was there. She was wearing a gothic black dress. It was all ripped over, kind of like the one Amy Lee wears in this pic. She was drinking some bolsterism. She took out the pensive and the time turner. Enemy, you'll have to do another session now. Also, I need you to get me the cure before being addicted. Good luck. Thanks. Then I jumped into the pensive again. Suddenly I looked around. I was in the Great Hall eating Count Chocula. It was morning. I was sitting next to Satan. On a table was a tall gothic man with long black hair, pale skin, and blue eyes, wearing a suit and black Converse shoes. He looked just like Charlie Manson. I noticed he was drinking a potion. Who's he? I asked. Oh, that's Professor Slutborn, Satan said. He's the potions teacher. Ebony? Yeah. Did you know that Marilyn Manson is playing in Hogsmeade tonight? And they're showing The Exorcist at the movies before that. Yeah? Well, want to go to the concert and the movies with me? I went into the common room thinking of Satan. Suddenly I gasped. Draco was there. He looked as hurt as Ava wearing black leather pants, a black Linkin Park t-shirt and black eyeliner. Draco, what the fuck are you doing? I gasped. Huh? Yes. Then I remembered. It wasn't Draco, it was Lucian. He still had 2 arms. Oh, hi Lucian. I said, I'm Ebony, the new student. Yes, Aiden told me about you. Listen, I'm in a goth band with those guys. We're playing tonight at the Marilyn Mason show up as backup. Oh, really? Yeah. We're called X Black X Tier about X. I play the guitar. Spartacus plays the drums. Snape plays the bass. And James plays the guitar. Even we call him Samaro. That's Samara in the ring. Hey bastards. I told them they gave me the touch son. Suddenly I gasped again. But don't you have a lead singer? I asked. Lucian looked down sadly. We used to, but she died. She contemplated suicide by slitting her wrist. Fucking god, that's so fucking sad, I guess. Okay, but we need a new lead singer. Well, I'm in a band myself. Really? Yeah, we're called Bloody Gothic Rose 666. Do you want to hear me sing? Yeah. But the guys took out their guitars. They began to play a song. By Gurnday. I worked this Emp Street on the boulevard a broke dream. I sang sexily. Everyone gasped. Enderby, will you join the band? Please. Okay. Are we gonna play tonight? Yeah. Okay. I said that, but I knew I needed to get a new outfit. I walked outside, wondering how I could go forward in time. Suddenly, someone jumped in front of me. It was Morty McFly. He was wearing a black band shirt and black baggy jeans. What the hell are you doing here? I'll go help you forward in time, Enderby, he said seriously. Then he took out a black time machine. I went into it and suddenly I was forward in time. Well, everyone, it was a very long time, but we're finally here. Chapter 36. And there's only 44 chapters left. This is going to be the last. Wrong. Run. Thank you for joining me, and let's get started. I looked around in a depressed way. Suddenly I saw Professor Sinister, Bloody Mary, Socrates and Draco, Vampire and Willow were there too. OMG. Serious, I saw you and Samara and Snipe and everyone. Can't believe Snape used to be gothic. Yeah, I know. Hey there, bitch. Professor Shelley said in an emo voice. Hey, fucker. Listen, they didn't ask me out to go to... I can't... yeah, help. Kathon, please. Ugh. Listen, they didn't ask me out to a gothic concert and a movie, so I need a sexy new outfit for the date. Also, I'm playing in a gothic band, so I need an outfit for that too. Oh my Satan, gasped Bloody Mary. Want to go to Hot Topic to shop for your outfit? OMG, let's have a group cutting session, said Professor Trevelry. I can't fucking wait for that, but we need to get some stuff first, said Willow. Yeah, we need some portions for Professor Trevelry so she won't be addicted to Voldemort serum anymore, and also some love potions for Enderby. Well, we have potion class now. We went actually the potion class, but Snape wasn't there. Someone I know is calling me their good boy in a very vulnerable... Yo! Hey, let's go, K-Son! Winning! Good shit. Instead, there was Cornelio. Fuck. Hey, where the fuck is Dumbledore? Draco shouted angrily. Shut the fuck up. He's in Azkaban now with Snape and Lupin. He's old and weak and has cancer. Now do your work. My friends and I talked angrily. Can you believe Snape used to be gothic? Yeah, that's it. I'm getting Professor Bridge. Stomped out angrily. My friends and I began talking again. I began to drink some blood mixed with beer. Suddenly, I saw Hagrid in the cupboard. Hagrid, what the fuck are you doing here? I looked around. Hagrid was putting something in his glass of blood. Draco and Vampire started to beat him up sexually. God, you're such a poser, I shouted at Hagrid. Suddenly, I looked at what he was putting in the blood. It was amnesia potion. Draco's point of view. The Vampire and I chained Hagrid to the floor. Oh my fucking Satan, Enderby said. She was so hot. Maybe I could use amnesia potion to make Satan fall in love with me faster. But you're so sexy and wonderful anyway, Tata, said Vampire. Why would you need it? To make everything go faster? Well, said Enderby. But you won't have to do it with him or anything, will you? Gee, you guys are so scary, said Brittany fucking prep. Shut the fuck up, said Willow. Okay, well, anyway, let's go to Professor Trelavelry's room. Draco, Ebony, and I went to Professor Sinister's room, but Professor Sinister wasn't there. Instead, Tom Ridd was. Oh, hi, fuckers, he said. Listen, I got you some cool new clothes. He took out the clothes from the bag. It was a gothic black leather miniskirt that said 666 on the back. Black Silton boots, blood red fishnets, and a black corset. OMG fangs, I said, hugging him in a gothic way. I took the clothes in the bag. Okay, Professor Sinister isn't here. What the fuck should we do? Oh my fucking Satan, I screamed as I read it. On it said, everyone, Professor Sinister's away. She is too gothic, she is in Azkaban now. Classes shall be taught by Dumbledore, who is back, but he shall not be professional. Fucking god, how could they do that? Suddenly Dumbledore came. What the hell are you doing in my office? Suddenly I saw Marty McFly's black time machine. I jumped seductively into it, leaving Draco and Vampire. There's just a lot going on. Okay, but when you say someone you're friend, like a good friend, a close friend, or like an acquaintance? Or like someone you have a crush on? Close friend? Hey, yo! You're winning. You're in it, my friend. Suddenly I was back in time. You're terrified? Yeah. Okay, just own up to it. You are the good boy. Suddenly I was back in time. I looked around. It was Professor Sludborn's office. I sticked around. Suddenly I saw the amnesia potion on his desk. Usually I'm the one who gives people butterflies, not getting them. Hey, yo, first time for everything, K-san. Let's go. That means you have to give the butterflies back. Don't be flustered alone. Suddenly, the door opened. It was Professor Slughorn. OMG, what the fuck are you doing, fucker? He shouted angrily. I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing. Oh, sorry, I was just looking around because I thought it was class. Oh, okay, you can go now. He went to the common room after putting on my clothes. Silas, Samaro, and Snape were there practicing Vampires Will Never Hurt You by MCR. Oh, hi, guys. I said seductively, we're Satan. Oh, he's coming. By the way, you can call me Hades now. Okay, I'll see you guys at the concert. Satan and I walked to his car. It was a black car with pentagrams all over it. On the license plate said 666, just like Jacob's car. I went in it seductively. Satan started to drive. We talked about Satanism. Well, it was named after Satan. Cutting, music, and being gothic. Oh my Satan, Gerard is so fucking hot. Voldemort agreed as he smoked some weed. Well, I totally decided not to commit suicide when I heard Helena. I said in a flirty voice. Hey Satan, do you know the cure for when people are addicted to Voldemort's serum? Well, I think you have to drink vampire blood. Suddenly, Voldemort parked a car behind a black movie theater. Satan and I walked outside. We went to the movie together. They were showing The Exorcist. In it, a boy and a girl were doing it. Suddenly, a serial killer came. Satan and I laughed at the blood because we're sadists. While Satan was watching the movie, I had an idea. I took Satan's gothic black Nightmare Before Christmas cigar sexily from his pocket and put some amnesia potion in it. I put it back in his black Emile Strange bag. Satan turned around and started to smoke it. Black clouds with red pentagrams, and it started to fly around everywhere. OMG, Satan said, jumping up. I gasped because I was afraid he had noticed. Enemy, guess what? I knew that the potion had worked. Amnesia potion had not been invented yet, so it will not work, he said. Too bad, because I wanted to use some on you. Cool. I raised my eyes suggestingly, and then he took off my clothes sexily and we started to make out. I took off his shirt. He had six-pack just like Gerard Way. We Frenched. Excuse me, but you're going to have to leave? Shouted the lady. Behind us, she was a prep. Fuck you, I said. Suddenly, I attacked her, sucking all her blood. No! All the preps in this theater screamed, but everyone else clapped, because Satan and I looked so cute together. Satan and I started to walk outside. OMG, how did you do that? Voldemort asked in a turned-on voice. I'm a vampire, I said as he went into the car. Seriously? Yeah, seriously. It's too bad we didn't get to see the rest of the movie, don't you think? Yeah. We kissed passionately. Satan parked in a black driveway next to the place where Draco and I had watched DC for the first time. We went inside where Marilyn Manson was playing and started to mosh. We did the double fingers. I started to dance really close to Satan. He was so sexy. He looked at me all emo with his gothic red eyes, and he looked exactly like Milky Way. I almost got an orgasm. Suddenly, Marilyn Manson stopped singing. I would like to present X Black X Tier X, he said. I ran on stage. Lucian, Samara, Snape, and Hades were there. They started to play their instruments, and I got on stage. My voice sounded like a pentagram between Amy Lee and a girl version of Gerard Way. Everyone clapped. Satan got an erection. I'm not okay, I sang finally. Suddenly, Lucian started playing the song wrong by mistake. OMFG, yelled James. What the fuck? Whoops, I'm sorry. You fucking asshole, James shouted angrily. You guys are such preps. Come on, it was a mistake. Yeah, it's not his fault. No, he ruined the fucking song. I stopped, I shouted angrily. But it was too late. They all began to fight. Suddenly, Samara took his knife. OMG, no, shouted Lucan, but it was too late. James tried to shoot off his arm. And then, I jumped sexually in front of the bullets. No! Everyone yelled, but it was too late. Suddenly, everything went black. Satan kneeled down beside. No, don't die. I gave him a rueful smile. I'm sorry, it's something I had to do. To fulfill my duty. I love you, Ebony. I love you too. I'll see you in hell. Bloody Mary suddenly popped into the room for no apparent reason. She frowned when she realized the room was oddly quiet. By the sight of Ebony's lifeless body, she screamed. Her face became pale with horror. She screamed for the healers, Dumbledore, McGoogle, and every gothic person she could think of. Suddenly, a glow started to surround the body of Ebony. Everyone stared at her in shock. Her body started to lift ever so slowly, and then everyone's shock started to incinerate. Whenever one realized what was happening, they rushed over, tried to rescue the body, but it was too late. A louder sounding of everyone bellowing "No" filled the room. A flash of white light from the ashes and started to bounce around the room. Everyone cowered in fear and were blinded. When it was over, things changed. I woke up in the nurse's office on a special gothic coffin. Hagrid was in the bed opposite me in a coma. His vampire and Draco had bedded him up. Miss Norris was cleaning the room. "Why, Satan, what happened?" I screamed. Suddenly Voldemort came. He looked less mean than usual. "Get the fuck out, you fucking bastard. Thou hast not killed vampire yet," he said angrily. Suddenly he started to cry tears of blood, all selective. Voldemort, oh my G, what's wrong? You like my top hat? Thank you very much. I like my top hat too. It's a good top hat. Suddenly Lucian, Professor Sinister, Sirius came. Bloody Mary and Vampire were with them. Everyone was holding black boxes. Voldemort disappeared. "She Ennaby, you're alive!" screamed Vampire. I hugged him and Bloody Mary. "What happened?" The story of Bloody Mary. "But the bullet could not kill you since you're from another time." "But fangs anyway," said Lucian, holding out his arm. I gasped. He had 2 arms. "Gee, I can't believe Vampire's dad shot you." Well, to be honest, Snape was possessed by Snape back then. "Yeah, he was a spy," Sirius said sadly. "He was really a death dealer." "It was such a fucking poser," said Lucian. "He didn't really know who GC were until I told him." Well, anyway, everyone started to give me presents. I was opening a black box with red 666s. There's a DVD of Corpse Bride on it, and I gasped. Mr. Norris looked up angrily because he had hated gods. "Hey, has anyone seen Draco?" "No, Draco told me watching House of Wax," said Revelry. He doesn't know that you're better. Anyway, the nurse said you could get up. Come on. I got up suicidally. Lucian, Sirius, and Professor Sinister left. I was wearing a black leather nightgown. Under that, I had a sexy black leather bra trimmed black lace. The matching thong that said Gothic Girl on the butt, and sexy fishnets. That kind hooked on my thong. I put on a black fishnet top under a black MCR t-shirt. A black leather mini with black lace and Congress shoes. I left the hospital wings with Bloody Mary, Willow, and Vampire. OMG, let's celebrate, asked Willow. We can go see House of Wax with Draco. Let's go listen to GC and cut ourselves 666. We opened the common room sexily and then I gasped. Draco was there doing it with Snape. He was wearing a black t-shirt with 666 on the front and baggy jeans. You fucking prep, we all yelled angrily. Yeah, you betrayed us, shouted Vampire. Angrily as he took out his black gun. No, you don't understand, screamed Draco sadly, as he took his thingy out of Snake. No shit, you fucking suck, you preppy bastard, said Willow. I ran suicidally to my room. I sexily took a stake out. And it'd be no, screamed Draco. But it was too late. I had slit my wrists with it, everything went black again. When I woke up, I was in the straight room. I looked around, I was wearing the same outfit I had when I performed with X Black Exterior X. I looked around and confused. It was the nurse's office, but he looked different. On the wall was the picture of Marilyn Manson. There was also a gothic Black Beatles calendar with a picture of the Beatles wearing eyeliner and black gloves. It said 1980. OMFG, I'm back in time again. Suddenly Satan, Voldemort, was wearing a black leather Jackson, black tight jeans and fishnet pants. He looked so sexy I almost had an orgy. Yeah, Annabelle, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay for your information. Gee, am I dead? I remembered I had jumped in front of the bullet from James' gun. I also remembered seeing Draco doing it with Snape. I guessed that when I slit my wrist, I went back in time instead of dying. I know I could go forward in time if I found Time Turner or the Time Machine. No, you're not dead. You're a vampire, so you can't die from a bullet. Come on now. See how Harry's dad is doing. I know that the real reason I didn't die from the bullet was because I was from the future. The fuck? James almost saw Lucius. I said, indiggoily. I knew that James had been possessed, but I didn't want him to know I knew. Yeah, I know, but he had a headache. He was under a lot of stress. I guess that's okay. Suddenly, I walked seductively outside with Satan. Suddenly, I saw a totally sexy gothic bi guy. He had bleached blonde hair with black streaks up to his ear. And he was wearing gothic black eyeliner. A black Green Day t-shirt. It showed Billy Joel with blonde hair since he was in the 80s. Black Converse shoes and black baggy pants. He walked in all sexy. Hey, he said quietly. What the fuck is that? I asked angrily because I didn't know. This is Hedwig. He used to be an X-Black X-Tier X, but he had to drop out because he broke his arm. Hey, Hedwig. I said seductively even though I was not trying to be. Hi, Envy. He answered, but then he ran away because he has air of magical creature. He was humming welcome to the Black Parade under his breath. Bye, I said all sexily. That was Hedwig. He used to be my boyfriend when we broke up. Gee, I can get you back together. Okay. You can forget about your class for now, Hedwig. I'm going to show you something great. I led them to the Great Hall. Come on, you guys. Lucian, James, Sirius, and Snake We're all in the Great Hall. Lucius wouldn't talk with James because he tried to shoot him. Go fuck yourselves, you fucking douche, she shouted at him. Draker's never going to be friends with Vampire now. Yeah, go fuck yourselves tomorrow. Snape agreed, but I knew he was lying because it had been his fault. James had almost shot Lucian. Be quiet, you guys, I said sexily. The plan was working great. Now I could make Voldemort good without doing it with him. Now Vampire's dad would never die, and... Okay, Satan and Hedwig, you guys can start making out. I said, and I started to film them with the iPod. Cool, said Sirius as Voldemort and Hedwig started to make out sexily. We watched... Where the fuck am I? We watched as they started to take each other's clothes off sexily. Tomorrow, Sirius, Snape, and Lucian all watched because they were probably bi. I know Snape was bi. Oh my fucking god, Voldemort. Screamed Hedwig as the Glock touched Voldemort's. But suddenly, everything stopped as the door opened and in came Dumbledore and Mr. Norris. I sat depressedly in Dumbledore's outfits with Hedwig, Satan, James, Sirius, Snape, and Lucian. Dumbledore was sitting in front of us, truly. He looked more young than he did in the future. He had taken the iPod away and was now listening to a shitty Avril Lavigne song. The hell is this anyways? Whatever you do, don't blame Ebony, you jerk. Yeah, seriously, she was trying to get Satan and Hedwig back together. Be quiet, you Satanist. You're lucky I'll probably send you to Azkaban. That would teach you to copulate in the Great Hall. He changed the song on the iPad to an NSYNC song. Suddenly I noticed something strange about the iPod. It was slowly changing. Dumbledore didn't notice. Fucking poser. I bet you never heard of GC. Shut up, James. Yeah, shut up. No, you shut up, Dumbledore. I've had enough of you Satanists in my school. Suddenly, I grabbed the iPod from him. Everyone jump in before it's too late. I jumped into it, but only one other person jumped in. It was Satan. You dunderhead, screamed Dumbledore. I looked around. I was in the Slytherin common room with Satan. I was wearing a black plaid miniskirt with hot pink fishnets, a sexy black MCR corset, and black stiletto boots with pink pentagrams on them. My earrings were black Satanist things, and my raven hair was all around me to my mid-back. Hey, cool, where is this? This is the future. Dumbledore's iPad that he tried to take away from him was really also a time machine. Cool. What's an iPad? It's something you listen to music to. OMG, cool. Wait, what's a 4-letter word for dirt? I guess sand? Yeah, I was just trying to make sure you're still the same person. Suddenly, some of my friends walked in. My god, you're fucking alive, said Ginny, wearing a black leather jacket, black baggy pants, and gothic black from first to last shirt. I explained to her why I was still alive. Konnichiwa, bitch, said Willow. Hey, motherfucker, said Diabolo. Hey, who's that, Ebony? Bloody Mary questioned. Oh, it's Satan, I told her, and she nodded, knowing the truth. Suddenly, Satan started to cry. Are you okay? OMG, you're from the future. What if you don't like me anymore because we're from different times? No, I still like you. Okay. My fucking god, where's Draco? How did Snape get back here? I thought he was in Azerbaijan. I asked sadly. Ebony, I was so worried about you, but I know you can't fucking die because you're a vampire. Snape came back because that girl Brittany freed him. I never liked her, she was a bad student. That bitch, did she also free Hagrid and Lupin? Yes, they're on the loose at the school. Dumbledore is back. Cornelius is on his way to help everyone. Tell everyone you see to lock themselves in their common room. Okay, but where's Draco? How come he was doing it with Snape? I don't know, but I know he almost tried to commit suicide after he saw you almost kill yourself. That's terrible. Listen, everyone. I have something important to do. In here, everyone stay. With that, I ran out. Good luck! I ran sexily down the stairs into the Great Hall. All the portraits looked around me scared. There was hardly anyone else on the stairs, and there was an atmosphere of horror. On the way, I saw Brittany laughing on the stairs. You fucking bitch. No, you're totally a bitch. Now Voldemort will totally kill you. Crucius! I shouted, selectively pontificating my black wand. She started screaming because she was being tortured, and I laughed. No! Help me, please! I put up my middle finger at her. In her hand, I saw the video camera Snape and Lumpin had used to take the video of me. I put the tape of Voldemort doing it with Hedwig onto it. Then I continued to go down the stairs with the camera. When I had reached the Great Hall, I saw a vampire Potter. Gee, vampire! We hugged each other happily. He looked at me with his gothic red eyes and spiky black hair. He looked more like Joel from Good Charlotte than ever. So worried you died. I know, but I'm a vampire. When I woke up, I was back in 1980. But anyway, I brought Voldemort from when he was young with me. Where's Draco? Draco? You mean that fucking poser who betrayed you? I know, but we have to find him. I'll do it then. Okay. Suddenly, all the lights in the room went out. And then, the dark mark appeared. Oh my fucking Satan. I think Voldemort has arrived. I have to find Draco. I guess we should separate. Okay. Vampire said, disappearing. Sadly, I ran into the Great Hall. I walked sexily into the Great Hall. It was empty except for one person. Draco. He sat there in his black 666 t-shirt. He held his wrist. I felt mad at him for having sex with Snape, but I felt sorry for him. He looked just like Gerard Way with his red eyes and his pale white face. Draco, are you okay? I'm not okay. I thought of the MCR song and I got more depressed because that song always makes me cry. But Draco, why did you do it with that fucking bastard? Draco began to say, but suddenly Lupin and Mr. Norris appeared in the room. Didn't see us. So glad me and Snape were freed. Damn, this job would be great if it wasn't for the fucking students. Pop Adelum, I yielded, angrily pointing my wand at them. No! Lupin shouted as chains came up on him. Mr. Norris ran away. You fucking perv. Now you have to tell us where Voldemort is or I'm going to torture you. I don't know where he is. Wait, Satan, we're worried for you guys. Vampire said. I looked sexily at Draco with his gothic red eyes with contacts. Vampire with his sexy black hair. And Satan, who looked just like Brad and Yuri. I took the camera from my pocket and then I began Frenching Draco sexily. Lupin gasped. Draco began to take off all his clothes and I could see his white six-pack. Then Vampire took his own clothes off too. We all began making out together sexily. I took off my black leather bra, my black lace thong, and the rest of my clothes. Everyone took their Glocks out except for me. I'm a girl. Oh my, Satan, Draco. I screamed as he put his hardness in my thingy. Then he did the same thing to Harry. I began making out with Satan and he joined in. Lupin watched in shock. We took turns doing torture curses on him because we're all sadists. Suddenly, a black car that said 666 on the license plate flew straight to the window. And Snape was in it. That's me card, shouted Draco angrily. But suddenly it was revealed who was in the car. It was Snape. I shall free you, Lupin, but first, you must help me kill these idiotic dunderheads. Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway must be killed. Then the Dark Lord shall never die. You fucking prep, yelled Draco. Forgot to tell you, Ebony. Snape made me do it with him. I didn't really want to have sex with him. We all put our clothes on quickly except Satan. We were so scared, but Satan didn't change. Instead, he changed into a man with green eyes, no nose, a grey robe, and white skin. He had changed into Voldemort. I know what thou were all along. Now I shall kill thee all. No, please don't kill us, pleaded Vampire. Suddenly Willow, Bloody Mary, Diavolo, Ginny, Dracula, Fred and George, Hagrid, McGonagall, Dumbledore, Sirius and Lucian all ran in. What is the meaning of all this? Dumbledore asked all angry. He did a spell, and suddenly his broomstick came to him sexily. Voldemort flew above the roof evilly on his broomstick. Oh my god, Slugborn gasped. The Dark Lord shall kill all of you. Then you must submit to him. Snape ejaculated menacingly. You fucking preppy fags. I know a 4-letter word for dirt. Cruciatus, screamed Harry. But the sparks from his wand only hit Draco's car. It fell down. Snape quickly crawled out of it and picked up the video camera. Oh my fucking god! I cried because the video of me in the bathroom. The video of me doing it with Draco, and the video of Satan doing it with kill me, then these videos would be shown to everyone in the school. They could be just like that gothic girl Paris Hilton. No! FYI, I have a picture of you doing with Lupin. Oh, what is she talking about? Lupin slurred as he sat in chains. I saw too. She's gonna show everyone the picture, Harry shouted angrily. Shut up! Lumpkin roared. Foolish ignoramuses, yelled Voldemort from his broomstick. Thou shalt all die soon. Think again, you fucking muggle poser, Harry yelled. And then he, Diabolo, and Neville both took out black guns, but Voldemort took out his own. You guys are in Aladdin standoff, I shouted desperately. Accio, Neville's wand, cried Voldemort. And suddenly Neville's wand was in his hands. Now I shall kill thee all, and Ebony, you will die. He made lightning coming all over the place. Save us, Ebony, Dumbledore cried. I cried sicily. I just wanted to go to the common room and slit my wrists with my friends. I would watch Shark Attack 3 and Saw 2 and do it with Draco. But I knew I had to do something more important. Abracadabra! I shooted. And that brings us all to the end of my Immortal. It was a very long journey getting here. It hurt my voice. I cringed. And I hope you guys cringed with me. Other than that, I hope you guys really had fun with this story. Listening to me. Starting next month, we'll go back to our regularly scheduled, lovely fluff stories. If there's anything you guys ever want me to... Thank you for the bongs. I think that's needed for this story. Truly, I hope you guys have a very wonderful night. Thank you for joining me on this journey. And as always, may the stars be ever your guiding light. Bye everyone.